When my daughter was just 7 years old and in the second grade, she wrote a story called The Three Little Mermaids and the Big Bad Shark. And I read the story and I thought, ooh, this is a really good story. So I asked her if she wanted to publish it. And first of all, she was like, what's that? And I was like, do you want it made available to people so they can read it? And she was like, yeah. So we began our journey to get her story published by first figuring out how to do that, which was no easy feat, and then finding an illustrator. So I found an illustrator, and it was very important to me. So while she was the author, it was very important to me that the characters that were drawn up in her story were diverse. And so you'll notice that when she does her reading in a couple of seconds. But I just wanted to highlight that as being intentional in terms of making her characters diverse. So I hope that you enjoy the reading.
Hi, my name is Odyssey Mercado, and I wrote this book called The Three Little Mermaids and the Big Bad Shark, illustrated by John Mono. Once upon a time, under the deep blue sea, there lived three little mermaid sisters. One day, the father of the three little mermaids told the sisters to make a strong house to live in. The first mermaid, who loved the place, said, "I don't need a house. My friends can protect me," and with that she convinced a school of fish to form her house. The second mermaid, who loved to shine her pearls, said, "I don't need a house. This kelp can protect me." The third mermaid asked her friends, Fish and Crab, to help her build a house of shells and leaves, because she knew it was going to be hard work to do it alone. Lucky for her, they said yes, because her sisters were too busy to help her. Suddenly, along came a hungry shark and wanted to eat the first mermaid. She screamed and swam quickly into her house. The shark said, come out, or I'll chomp your house down." The first mermaid yelled, "No! Not by the tail of my finny fin fin." And with that, the hungry shark took one chomp, and the school of fish ran away, and so did the first mermaid. The hungry shark chased the first mermaid to her sister's house, where she thought she would be safe. The hungry shark once said again, come out, or I'll chomp your house down." And the second mermaid screamed, "No, not by the tail of my finny fin fin." And with that, the hungry shark took one chomp and gobbled up the kelp. So the mermaid swam to the sister's house, with the shark close behind them. The shark said, come out, or I'll chomp your house down." The first two sisters were scared because they knew what a hungry shark could do, but the third sister was sure that the shark would not be able to eat her house. So she said, "No, not by the tail of my finny fin fin." So the shark chomped and he chomped and he chomped and he broke his tooth. "Ouch!" he cried and swam away. And Crab said, "Yikes! I'm glad my teeth are in my hands." And they all lived happily ever after. The end.
A few months ago, I went on this guided fantasy and I learned a lot. And so I wanted to do something similar and offer that same or similar experience for you because I really learned a lot and I wanted to share the opportunity with you. So if you dare, please join me for the next minute or so on a guided fantasy or through a guided fantasy. Okay, so close your eyes. Are they closed? Just trust me. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and take a minute to imagine yourself in a public park. Just for now, it's empty. Just you. It's a cool fall day. The trees are brown with leaves, and the light of the sun shines through in the most perfect way. So perfect you could almost freeze the moment. You feel a slight breeze. It hits your face first, and you know that fall will be ending soon. As you look in front of you, you see a trail which seems to go as far as the eye can see. Around the trail, there are patches of grass, some green, some brown. You hear some birds chirping and try to figure out where they're going. You start to walk, and you move along the trail, and you hear people close by, very close by. You look first to your right, and then to your left, and you notice a child playing with the ball. The child throws the ball to two people who are also close by. You give them a slight nod, and they smile and wave. They motion over to their pet. You begin to briskly walk around the trail and gaze up at the tall trees, and then forward at three people sitting on a bench. They are roaring with laughter, loudly. You gaze at their body language. You keep moving, and you see a couple walking towards you holding hands. You cross paths and acknowledge each other. You get to the end of the path and come into a building where you're standing at your screen. You feel the warmth of your keyboard, and you begin to slowly open your eyes and come back to the video. For those of you who made it, thank you for staying with me. I promise there was a point to all that. When I did this exercise, the facilitator took us through a series of questions after that guided fantasy, and it made me realize a few things. So for you, I'd like you to think back to that park. You got it in your head? Those images? What do the people look like? Were they all the same race? Were they different ethnicities? Was the child playing with the ball a male? Female? Undefined or defined? Was the child in a wheelchair or able-bodied? Were the couples elderly or were they young? Were they a same-sex couple? Were there wheelchair accessible ramps along the path or in the park? These are all questions that our facilitator asked us, and it made me realize that the people in my park all looked a certain way, and there tends to be, and it was like that for most of the people in the room, but there tends to be a pattern, and it very quickly highlights the need for diversity and inclusion. And so what better way to start in a small way other than or by diversifying children's books? So I want to say that I think it's a great thing that you are open to listening to stories that have diverse characters, and I welcome you to continue to do that. And I hope that you enjoy this exercise today. Thank you.